We get high, we fly, ticket in the sky. High in spirit. We have to understand in this world, things that work out together is because they were made and they work together. Pretty simple. So when we get high, we have MJ. M13, J is 10. 1, 3, and 10 is 23. Minus it becomes 3. It becomes JC, Jesus Christ. Alternate current, 1 and 3. When we remove 1 from 3, we get 2. When we add 1 to 3, we actually get a division. And the division starts in 2 aces. Is it not? When you play blackjack and you get 2 aces, all of a sudden you now get ace 11. Now 11, okay, is a dimension that shows 2 sides, because everybody knows there's no more than 4. There's 4 corners, and that's how we measure. 4 corners. That's how you measure. You measure linear with 2. You measure linear with 2, and if you're on this angle, then you have above here and below here. Okay, that's 2 and 2 is 4. That's a linear. So when you're measuring 11, you have the top house and you have the bottom house. This is the beginning. Great. So now we have a division. We have a division. We have to understand the spirit, the fly, the high, and the MJ. We're going to try and calculate this. Let me get my screen a little bit bigger so I can see it. The MJ is 13 and the J is 10. In the alphabetical reverse, okay, 14 and 13, 17 and 10, you now have Q and N. NQ or Ken. Ken says yes, it's also the queen, the entry of the DNA, alternate current. Inside MJ, okay, the reverse is 54. If the reverse is 54, this one over here is 23. Well, I don't know why I marked 20, but it's 23. Okay. 23, the reverse is 31. Alternate current to the BC world, plus or minus 6 because of the 10. You get 29, the birth, 17, the queen. This queen, which moves in all directions, is because it's a portal. It is on the cross, north-south incoming from the moon and spirit, and east-west because of the duplication. We said 11 is a split up between 2 sides, the jack, the skyhook. When we get 51, excuse me, it's not 51 anymore. It's now plus or minus. It is 54, which is the number in the sun, the foxhole in the sun. Remember, sun, SUN is 54, but the total is 81 Venus. The difference is 27, and it says win a big red sun. Why win a big red sun? Because Mercury and Venus with no moons is because what runs in between Venus, is Mercury, and because Venus is shown on our calculator or area as being in the center, that means Venus runs through Jupiter and Neptune runs through Jupiter. From above is below, okay, from above is below, side to side. 11, the 11 is 2 sides, that is your birth. You minus it and you add it, you get 6 and 5. To the 7th gate, 6 plus 5 equals to 1 and 2, and that is your Venus. 1 minus 2 is 1 again, 1 plus 2 is 3. You now create alternate current. 1 and 7, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 7 and 8, and that is the division of the penny. Now, where do we get this division? Here is your 1, here is your 1, here is your 1, here is your 11. Your 11, you split the aces. The above world and the below world run inside the birth of 9. 5 and 2 on the outside is 4. 4 down, 5 up. The foxhole in the sun. Remember, 54 also has a reverse to it. Okay, reverse to 54. 45, the foxhole. I don't have those numbers right now, but to bring 54 to the 7th gate, you get 32, and that's BC. To bring it to the star world, the time world where it connects 2 sides, okay, 54 is now 65, and that's the red sun. To bring it to area space, where 2 area spaces, 5 and 4, becomes 4 and 0, 5 and 1, or you get 8 and 5 and 9. 8 and 9 is the H and I, the high world. The H and I where H and I, if you take a look in numbers, what happens to H and I? Venus, Mercury run through Jupiter. Venus and Mercury is 1 and 2. 2 and 8 is 10. 1 and 9, H and I. Now we bring it to the 4 world, we get 3 and 2. 3 and 1 with Mercury. Mercury gets Earth. Venus stays in Earth, same Venus and Venus. Equals 44 area space. The elephant, does it get scared? Why does the elephant, the 2 worlds, stamp out the mouse? Why is the cat chasing the mouse and then plays with it before anything? The mice, the elephants, all relationships, because somebody in this world, I mean, they didn't do codes in Germany to break the war with the Enigma, the Sigma, the signal testing system. Enigma, alternate current testing system. And I built myself what I call this over here, this guy up here, and these are the little sigmas, little signal testing. Here he's standing, here they're snooping out and they're reading. One over here, one upside down over here, and it is actually the half. If you take a look at it, it's actually 8 H and I, right? H and I is right in between that division. That is your 11. That's why when we play blackjack, you only get 1 card because you get 1 card per house. So now you have ace 11 running in 2 sides, 5 and 5, right? But these are half houses, okay? These are half houses. This will create the Star of David if you want to do it this way, right? This way, this way, this way. This is the Star of David. So in here, the 8, the 7, this is the split between the 8 and the 7. You see they are the same. In one of them you have 2, and in the other one you have 1. Do you notice the way it's the halfway house is over here? It's in between. Let's run it this way, and this way it's equality. Okay, so we do know that in the 4, we do know that in all the cards, all the way up to 10, we always have these 4 corners. So forget about them. The 4 is in every card. The 4th planet is Saturn, Mars. Why is it Saturn, Mars? Because let's add it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Saturn. 4 and 6. If we were in Lo Shu, Earth and Uranus comes here. Uranus, sun within 1. The red sun, the red flowing blood, the electronic world, red and blue equals to purple. Purple in pool now brings the 4 and the 12 together. 4 is Mars, 1 and 2 is back to Mercury and Venus. 1 and 2 equals 3, creating Earth through Mercury and Venus, the simplified way. So now, if we remove 1 from 5, we end up with 4 again. So the electronic world. If we remove 1 from 3, we end up with the split of Venus. There is no 6 to remove, but 6, 7, and 8 are all the same. 6, 7, and 8 equals to 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The cube equals to 21. Add 1, 2, 3, 4. It equals to 10. 10 and 21. They're all the same except for the 1 dot here and the 2 dots over here. The split world. You see the 4 over here? This is the diamond. The diamond in the sky, because what is above and is below the sky is here. The diamond in the sky. Sing that song she sings, she says. Okay, with diamonds in the sky. 6, 7, 8 are 21. It's 6, 6, and 6. And there are 3 of them that you see, right? 6, 6, 6 are replicas. If we had to put all this together, okay, if we removed, okay, what is in the 6 card, we would end up with 2 only. The 7 is inside the 8. It is a portal. It is a spirit portal. What we can do with our cards, okay, what we can do with certain cards, what designs, we can come up with certain cards, right? I'm going to bring up and keep showing us all the cards. If I took all these cards together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, let's not count the 4. So we automatically get 6, right? 2 and 1 are replicated in the 3. So let's take these 2 and put them away. This one and this one, okay, has a representator, but this one does not, right? So we're going to take this here and we're going to remove this because it's inside of here and inside of here, the DC worlds. We have the 10, okay, which has the representation of the 4 on the outside and 6 in the center. See the 6 in the center? 10 actually equals 6, okay? Forget about the 7 because the 7 and the 6 are playing the role in the 8, right? The 8 has the 4 corners again, so all we're working is 4 in the center, and here we're working 6 in the center. But you notice the way 8 and 10 are slightly different. You have this one over here, but if I put it over each other, let me try and see if I can show you this formation. See the way it stands a little bit higher, right? One is a little bit higher, one is a little bit lower. I'm not quite sure what that means. These two are on the outside of 8, the heaven of man that stands and connects them all. 8 and 10, 1 plus 0 equals 6, 8 and 7. Connecting time, connecting Mars, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. The 17th letter is the Queen. The reverse 17th letter is the Jack, Jack, Queen, that come together. 18, 18 minus 2 is Venus, RV, that is your home. Venus resident angel. So these are your cards. We have the 9, has no other representation than the 9 being represented inside the 10 card. So we're going to put these two cards together. We don't need the ace because the ace is inside the 9. Artificial intelligence. We have the intelligence already plugged in. So we're going to take the 10 card and we're just going to, or the 9 card, and we're going to bend it, right? We're going to bend it this way. Can I bend it a little bit more? Let's bend it a little bit more so we can actually see if we can get these together. See the images? They're all together. So when we slip these two cards together, we only get 11, 9 and 10, 19, artificial intelligence, where birth is inside the star system. The cards tell the story. I'm only reading to you the story, what they have given me in the cycle of art, science, games people play. I'm not sure where else we can go with this right now. It is a basic setup. I do want to take this to a secondary level and finish with MJ. Like the coral reef, the THC will connect to certain things in our body, but it has to be taken in properly. We need to understand what, just like snuff opens the mind, like cocaine, what sugar does, so does MJ work for our body. 1 times 4, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4 DC. 1 times 0, 1 plus 0 is 1. 7 and 1. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 5 and 4. Foxhole in the sun. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals 15. Mars, 15. 15 and 14 equals to the 3.14 in pi. 54 take plus 11 is 65. Excuse me, is 65. Okay, which is 11. That is creation. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 plus 5 is 11 equals to 41. DNA. Add or minus 6 from 41 is 35. Any craps? Any craps means 1 and 2. 1 and 1, okay, which is now your 11. 1 and 1 in both worlds, okay? And it is 6 and 6, which is the reverse of 1 and 1. And on the gematria scale, it is split on both sides of the 7. But there's more to that. There's more to that. More to that. You want to talk about cow? You want to talk about Batman? I just want to see if I can show you this little gematria thing before I go. Here's your cards. You notice it's always showing 2 corners, top left, bottom right, top left, bottom right. You notice that the 3 card, the 2 card, and the 1 card, forget about them. Okay, those are the through the moon. They work through the moon. They work through the moon. I don't want to get with that. We're going to continue on with these cards. Where 4 is 1.5 equaling to 6, and 6 is 1.5 equaling to 9. 4, 6, and 9 comes together, okay, in created worlds. 10 Jack Queen, 10 equals to 1 equals to 7. Jack is the 10th letter. T is the 20th letter, 10, 20. What is your location? Q is the 17th letter. My location is in the gateway. What is your gateway? It is the king, the 11th letter, 11, 11, 11, 11. T is 20, 20. Jack is 10, 10. Queen, 17, 17. They show two of them. We add them up. The E world, EI, EIO, the E world, 5 and 9. We split area space with 44. Earth is 1/4 of what? 1/4 of this is 14. We'll create 1 times 4, 1 plus 4. That is the sun. It creates the letters D and A, and 14 goes to 20, goes to 26. That is the 10 world. That is the perfect world, and it is the split. 5 and 2, 5 times 2 equals 7 and 10, 17, and back to the portal of the queen and inside of Mars again. Okay. I didn't get this done. There's a few things I saw yesterday. I saw a design. On a design, the sign was together. The S and the B came together, and inside the S and B created the letter Y. The letter Y has sometimes marked with 2 areas where they put a flat mark. Every time you see a line, you see a bar on it. Remember, bar is 10, 10, 10, 10,000. X with a bar, do not enter, it says, and it also relevance in Roman numerals is 10,000. The Y in between the S and the B, artificial intelligence creation in the beta world, alternate current, because B is built by 1 and 3 coming together. The Y in between is 52, and that's a representation of Earth, but only 1/4 Earth. What are the quarters of Earth? Are they the memory? Is it one human that is one part of a creation of a body which has a receptor, and we call it the receptor of the spirit or the energy or the memory, or the 512, which is Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury coming together? 1 and 2 equals to 3. 3 and 5 is equal to alternate current or any crap. Inside of 5 on the 3 cube, inside of 5 on the 3 cube, okay, is a direct reflection that 3 lives in 5 in the cubed world. Let's not talk about the cards, because the cards make up more than one world. But I do want to show you that I have a bunch of papers that I wrote out here, and I haven't come up with showing you this. Here is your gematria basic. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay, H, I, J, K, L, M, M, okay, N. Why M and N? Because it becomes 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. So they go beside each other. They make a bar, a flat between this side and that side, and then they go back up again. So if you're talking 66, you might be talking F over H in between on this scale. So wherever you draw a line, you're connecting letters. You'll be talking about 666, where 616, sorry, or 6116 or 626. Because M and N, which split the center here, you'll have 1 bar over here and 2 bars down, because there's 2 of them. It's being split. You follow what I'm saying? 66 above and below the G. F and H on one side, S on U on the other side. Artificial intelligence 1 and 9, 1 plus 9, or U 1 and 2 is 3. 1 and 3 comes together, or 7 and 3, and that will represent the cube. You see student over here, the entity. Put the I over here. It is the interest, interception, inception. There's more words that go with this, but this is the acknowledgement of the understanding of how these work, where it goes in. 641 on one side, but it would be 841 on the other side because of the split of the G. You might come in the body, but the mind gets split and continues on. We need to continue the receivership, even though the body is walking this way, the mind has gone this way. And now we split it up instead of between G, known as 1 moon, okay, to M and N, known as 2 moons, 1 and 1, connecting 1 to 2, or the split moon, if you want to look at it that way. Just throwing things around. Put these 2 designs. We have Portland Trailblazers. There's, I'm just trying to see, is there anything else? There's just a lot of things that we put together. Money signs, or here is IV, which is life of 1. It also says L, which means she, but in Spanish, when you put 2 L's together, it creates the Y, and now you have in she is I, and is the I in I. Here is the zipper. If I put it over here, and I open up my coat, if I put it over here and I open up my coat, then you will only see the C. You'll only see the C if you open up the coat, right? You open up the coat. I split this and I turn everything sideways. All you grab is the K. What we can do with letters. Let's not see babies, eh? Let's not see babies, eh? I see, you see. What you see, what I see. I will be doing menopause and andropauses for words. Remember, basic science, okay, for the alphabet works in many ways. There's a gematria scale. Add 1 to 6, 7, and then back down again. The gematria on the piano is 1 to 7, 1 to 7, 1 to 7, 1 to 7. In each is their own world. 1 to 7, 1 world, 1 to 7, 1 world, whoop, 1 to 7, 1 world, and then 1, 2. And then the middle center C. The center C dividing two sides, so it'd be C, B, A, G, okay, on one side, and the other side is C, D, E, F. Now, how can we split ourselves? How is that split? Because it's split that way, does it actually turn this way because of that split? What is that center C split? I'm not sure if I got everything done in here. It's just a beginning. Just in case you made it to the end over here, foul language, and the pigs are in the sky, and a foul ball. Means it's outside the line of the 1/4 of the playing field. How is a baseball field set up? When you split the aces, you get 11-11, but every card counts simply. When you get the next ace, if you got another ace on this, it would only count for 1. When you have the design like this, L and V for Las Vegas, you also have the same creation of Warner Brothers for the W. L and V creates 22 and 12, 34 DC, or creates 10, which creates 17, and now you have the Queen. Does anybody eat spinach? Does anybody take vitamin K? Does anybody understand that 88 is actually the clock? 40 is the 15th letter. It is the clock of the sun, because 0 equaling to 15 times 4 equaling to 60. But 0, 0 is an 8. 1, 0 with a 1. 1 and a 0 is a 6, because the spirit is coming in. But 8 is the other side of 6 in the gematria scale. So if 8 is the other side of 6, okay, then what we have, instead of we getting 4 times 15 because of the 0 here, right? 4 times 8 is the BC world, also known as the gateway. 4 times 32 is 128. That is the spirit inside the cycle of the moon. And 4 times 12, the reverse of 15, is 12. 4 times 12 is 48, representing 80 for Pluto. It's a 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. And 48 is the word S-O-N, sun. So how 8 and 6 comes together. 8 is your life in the 8 heaven of Venus, where the 1 spirit comes in as the gateway. 1 plus or minus equals electric company to the 7th world, 5775. 5 times 7 is 35. Any craps? 5 and 7 is 12. Plus 35 or minus creates 27 and 47. 47 is now a number. 4 times 7, 4 plus 7 is 28 cycle of the moon, and 11 of the 2 worlds connect. You add it comes 9339, which is passage over Hoover Dam, 93 highway, and the number to Saturn. The difference between the two is 54 plus 39 is 93, and that is through the passage of the sun. It just keeps going on and on and on and on, and I don't ever have to stop. Christ, the piano, it doesn't matter. This is all games that were created in alternate codes that all come back together for how they did this. Was Darwin's theory of the Big Bang the reality of everything? It could have been, but it was way beyond anybody ever did it. Was that reality the Big Bang created by somebody? How did it actually start? Obviously, something happened somewhere, and if you're that small and you don't know, anything that drops is a Big Bang. Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus, asked me to work on anything because everything works. Thank you for watching this video, coming to you from Mr. Tackpans. the house of paints, and everybody seems to rely on this little cross pissing the oil off, and that lady sitting on the chair. Thank you for watching.